Hey, what's up everyone? I am Carlos Gonzalez with Big Block Realty. This is Chris, my flying pig. In this video, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of living in Little Italy. So Little Italy is one of my favorite neighborhoods in downtown San Diego because even though it's in downtown, it's kind of like by itself towards the very north side of downtown. It starts right on Ash and it goes all the way to Laurel. It has expanded so much that it actually goes all the way to Laurel Avenue, which is where you have to go down to go to the airport. And they have done so many things to that area in the past few years. They just expanded, I think it was actually a street that they closed, and they put like a food court, they put a big fountain in the middle, a bunch of chairs, a bunch of different tables, a bunch of restaurants on the other side. You'll always find like a guy playing the sax or like a band playing like light jazz and stuff like that. So Little Italy has a very mellow, cool vibe, very old school. You'll still see some of the Italian guys, or like older Italian fellas, just walking around and talking amongst themselves in Italian. So anyway, it's a very cool environment in general. I love Little Italy. It has world-class restaurants. You have Born and Raised there, great steakhouse. You have Queenstown, which is an Australian restaurant. I mean, you have King and Queen Cantina. Shout out to Mr. Temple. You have Craft and Commerce. You have a little bit of everything. So it's a lot of fun. It does have some bars, like for example, Kettner Exchange. It's like a restaurant slash bar, and it's a very nice, very classy, very cool. I like going there a lot. Their bar area is on the second floor, and it's open air, so it's kind of like a rooftop setting. So it's very, very cool. So I really, really like Little Italy. Now, the pros and cons of living in Little Italy are very different from most of the other areas in downtown San Diego because, like I said, Little Italy is kind of by itself all the way at the top edge, north edge of downtown. So the pro number one is definitely the location. You know, great location. You're still in downtown. You're still very close. You're an Uber away, or you can take one of those birds from Petco Park and all the other entertainment areas right around there. Because like I said, you are on the very far north edge of downtown, so it's about a mile away from the Gaslamp Quarter. It's about a mile and a half from the Bay. So if you want to go to a concert of the Shell, you're probably gonna have to take an Uber. If you want to go to a baseball game, you're probably gonna have to take an Uber or one of those birds. But the cool thing also is that because you're on the north edge of downtown, you have very easy freeway access. Nothing like the Gaslamp, nothing like the Marina District. Very, very easy freeway access. You have access to Balboa Park, which is the San Diego's largest park, and you're only, I want to say maybe like 3/4 of a mile east from Balboa Park, and there's all sorts of things happening. I mean, I have to do a video of Balboa Park in itself because there's all sorts of things happening there. The location there is really, really, really key. Another really cool thing is that it's a $7 Uber ride to the airport. That is really key as well. Like literally, you're there, you'll call an Uber, and you're in the airport in no time. So the location is key. Another pro is the environment. It's a very chill, very mellow environment. There is a few areas where there is a little bit of partying, a few bars, but it's not as crowded as the Gaslamp Quarter. You're kind of like in your own little bubble when you are in Little Italy. There are some really cool buildings like La Vita, 300 West Beach Street. You have 425 West Beach Street, which is Aqua Vista. It's a massive building. I'm not a big fan of Aqua Vista because it almost feels like a dorm setting inside and within the units and everything, but that would make a great investment property, Aqua Vista. And then across from Ash, which is technically the Columbia District, you do have some really important buildings. You have Savina, which is one of downtown's newest buildings. It was recently, I think it was finished in like 2020, 2019. You also have Bayside. I love Bayside, and if I was to live in a building in that area, I would probably live on Bayside. And then you have Sapphire right next to them. So you have some really, really cool buildings. They just finished a bunch of buildings recently as well. So there's for both residential real estate and for rent. So for purchase and for rental. So like I said, the environment is very, very different. I really don't find much cons that I can think of. You're probably gonna gain weight. like Chris right here, you're probably gonna gain some weight because you have all these Italian restaurants, right there. You're probably gonna run into a lot of people because everyone kind of like the Sunday thing to do here in San Diego for a lot of folks is to go walk around Little Italy. So I mean, I really can't think of cons. I mean, you're not exposed to the scenario that you would be in a place like the Gaslamp. You don't have all the homeless, running around and stuff like that. You don't see. I mean, yeah, there's a few, but you don't see it as significant as in some other areas of downtown San Diego. So there you have it, guys. That's a quick pros and cons of Little Italy neighborhood in downtown San Diego. Again, I'm Carlos Gonzalez. This is Chris, the Flying Pig. If you guys have any questions, give me a call, send me a text, and I'll be more than happy to help you, and I'll see you guys next time.